Hello, I'm Tylah Tully, and today I'm joined by Race Oncology CEO Daniel Tillett. Daniel, you've achieved a breakthrough in the development of your lead drug, identifying the primary mechanism of action. So I guess a good place to start is explaining to us how the drug actually works.
Well, if you've got a couple of hours, I'll take you through it. But the short answer is, turns out to not be an old chemo drug, which is what everyone thought for the last 45 years. But it turns out to be a drug that binds to a special structure that exists in DNA and RNA called G4, and that has a really significant effect on a number of other cancer genes, particularly this gene called MYC. And MYC is really the key master regulator of many cancers, up to 70%. So we're able to target that. It's been considered a undruggable target in the past. People have known it's super important, and if you could actually make a drug that binds to it or turns it off, you'd actually have something pretty amazing. We've been able to find that our drug actually does this in the end. So yeah, really exciting. The knowing how as a scientist is always, fantastic, because that's what you do. You discover new things, but it also has really important implications for investors and the company going forward and patients, in that we can identify where to best use the drug. And that's something that's always really difficult with a cancer drug, because there's so many opportunities, and where to use it best is always hard to figure out.
So what is the significance of this discovery for race and cancer treatments moving forward? Has anyone done this before?
Well, no, certainly not with our drug. The significance really is in knowledge. You can go about trying to discover new treatments for cancer kind of in two ways. You can kind of just randomly guess and see what works. And that's the sort of traditional way that people would, synthesize a chemical in the lab. They would then put it into mice, and then they'd take it out and put it in humans and have no real idea why or how it worked. And most of the time, almost all the time, it doesn't work. Less than 1% of cancer drugs make it to market that work in mice, for example. So, but if you know how a drug works, then you make the probability of success vastly higher. It allows you to identify which cancers is going to work best in. You can develop things called biomarkers, which means you can test the patient, make sure they've got the particular type of cancer that will respond well to that drug, and only give the drug to those patients, and avoid giving it to patients that aren't going to respond to the drug. So, and the other one that's really important these days is that you know which combination of drugs to work with. There's literally hundreds and hundreds of different cancer drugs now out there, and they can all be used together. And knowing which ones to use when and in which cancer types is, a combination. Millions and millions of different combinations come out of that. So knowing how it works, you can go, okay, I know this drug with that drug in this patient population will work really well. And you go out and test that. And it just makes the whole process so much faster, quicker, and better for the patient, the investors who have to pay for all of this, and I guess everyone.
So could this be the holy grail of cancer therapy? Where does Race go from here?
Oh, well, I wouldn't go say it's the holy grail of cancer. Anyone that claims that their drug is the holy grail of cancer is probably selling you snake oil. But it's a large step forward. It's something that those in the field will be impressed by. It's something that we're certainly internally been very impressed by. We're really glad that we've been able to explain to our investors in the market in general what we've been up to for the last few years, making these discoveries. We've been working inside. So for us, it's kind of old news, but, it really is satisfying to be able to do this. And the opportunities this provides, I wouldn't go as limitless, but there are so many opportunities out there, and we're exploring those right now. And we'll have a lot more to say in the months to come.
Daniel, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you very much, Tyler.